The Guardian today has put out a very interesting article about the 50 years since the fall of the Greek junta. The Greek military junta, often referred to as the regime of the colonels, took power through a coup d'etat on April the 21st, 1967, and a period of authoritarian rule emerged against a backdrop of political instability and tension across Greece. The political climate was marked by intense polarization, economic difficulties, fears of communist influence in the global Cold War context in the late 1960s, early 1970s. Many people who were out of favor, leaving Greece hurriedly, and this also led to the partition of Cyprus with its own developments there. The junta's 7-year rule was characterized by severe repression, censorship, human rights abuses, and the regime systematically tortured and exiled political opponents, violently suppressed dissent, restricted freedom of expression. It abolished the monarchy in 1973, which had been a significant political force in Greece. And the most notable crackdown was the Athens Polytechnic uprising in November 1973. I remember by the time I lived in Greece, I lived very close to the Polytechnic in an area called Exarchia, and it was febrile and exciting, and there was a lot of tension there, and all the more so during the uprising in 1973, when the regime's violent crackdown resulted in the deaths of many students and sparked widespread outrage with tanks on the streets. And the junta's leader, Georgios Papadopoulos, there we are, was deposed by hardliner Dimitrios Ioannidis in 1973, exposing a power struggle within the regime itself. The downfall of the junta was precipitated by a series of dramatic events in 1974. The coup in Cyprus. Ioannidis ordered a coup to overthrow the Cypriot leader, Archbishop Makarios III, leading to a Turkish invasion of Cyprus, and this conflict resulted in significant casualties, a divided island divided for 50 years. Greece mobilized for war with Turkey over Cyprus, and it proved to be the final straw for the already unpopular junta, and the regime collapsed on the 23rd of July 1974, leading to the restoration of the democracy on the 24th of July 1974. Konstantinos Karamanlis, the former prime minister, returned from exile to lead the transition to democratic government. On the 24th of July, Greece marks the 50th anniversary, that's today, of the junta's collapse. The milestone is a time for reflection on the impact of the dictatorship and the subsequent restoration of democracy, known as Metapolitefsi. It's characterized by a political reconciliation and reform, the return of Melina Mercouri. The post-junta period saw significant reforms, the legalization of left-wing parties, efforts to integrate formerly marginalized groups into the political mainstream. The Metapolitefsi brought about a cultural renaissance with increased freedoms in the arts, education, and media, cementing some of the movements which had begun in the 1950s and had then been suspended by the period of the junta. Despite the progress, the legacy of the junta continues to influence Greek society and politics today. Issues such as corruption, the rise of far-right movements like New Dawn, remain areas of concern. Personal stories and collective memory play a crucial role in understanding the junta's impact. And people have been interviewed in the press talking about their fear, the repression of the dictatorship, while also celebrating the relief and the optimism that followed its fall. These narratives highlight the resilience of Greek society and the enduring significance of the Metapolitefsi in shaping contemporary Greece. As Greece commemorates and celebrates this significant anniversary, it's time to honour the struggles for freedom and democracy, and to reflect on the lessons of the past and address the ongoing challenges to ensure a more robust democratic future.